Welcome to the Black AF1 Pod. I'm your host, Roy, and my supercalifragilisticexpialidocious co-host.
Oh my God! I love you. He was so excited for his intro today. He was like, just wait. I was up late last night. I was cooking a little something. Anyways, it's me, Reina, as per usual, honestly. Welcome back, guys, to the Black AF1 Pod. As always, you guys are the absolute best audience. Thank you so much for tuning in to another crazy week of the sport we love to hate to love, called F1. And yeah,
I love to love, okay?
You love to love F1? Nah.
I love to love.
I either love to hate it or I hate to love it.
Oh, okay. If F1, I hear you on that. If it's F1, yeah.
Okay, no, in general in life, I never love to love. Like, I don't think that's ever been a thing for me.
That's why you don't like my smiling, because I love to love. Like,
no, because why are you always smiling? What is there to smile about in the world?
I love to love.
What is there to smile about in the world?
Listen,
Marjorie Taylor Greene exists. You shouldn't be smiling. Even for her presence alone. Candace Owens is a reason why you shouldn't be smiling.
I pretend like these people don't exist.
Barstool Sports. There are many reasons why you should not be smiling.
In my mind, when I'm smiling, none of these people exist. They might as well be irrelevant. Okay. They're useless. Anywho.
Reina time is gonna be so brief today, but I just want to give a shout out to the Finnish drivers on the grid, past and present, because they know who the GOAT is. They know who the GOAT is.
They really do, though.
Heikki Kovalainen, I guess his name is Heikki, but I told Roy, please make a note that I want to talk about Heikki Kovalainen in the notes.
That's how she said it, guys.
And when I came to the notes, he had written high key, like low key and high key. That's what he had written.
But that's how she said
high
it.
Heikki Kovalainen. But I already said Kovalainen, and you know, even if his name is Heikki, you know who I'm talking about. What do you think I meant?
No, I thought you meant like Heikki Kovalainen, like Heikki Kovalainen did something, so make sure I talk about it. So I thought it was like a phrase, like it was like a part of a sentence that
when
you were
would I have
later.
ever?
I don't know, because I remember we were talking and I was like, I know you've been busy this week.
Anyways, so like, Heikki Kovalainen did do something. He did an interview where he said that Fernando Alonso has never recovered from losing to Lewis Hamilton in 2007. And is this not what we've been telling you guys for years? We've been telling you guys this time, the only reason this man still wants to win a championship is so that it will look like he did not lose his entire spirit and vim when Lewis Hamilton was his teammate as a rookie. And like, I'm just gonna say, oh Lord, that man was really embarrassed. Embarrassed. Two-time world champion, and the rookie was overtaking race. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But I just want to give a shout out because VB also, you know, VB likes to feel among and his friendship, and it did come out like that they're still flying together and doing stuff together, so they're still besties.
Bromance.
And like Lewis had this little thing in the pen where like he saw Valtteri and he told like the Alfa Romeo press person to move to the side, and he just like nudges Valtteri a little, be like, this will be us, turn one. And they were awesome. Their friendship is actually really cute. Like Valtteri is a driver side. And obviously like Valtteri lost his whole like 103 consecutive appearances thing this week. That was sad, but I loved how he was like, at least I can say I'm a centurion like Lewis. Nobody else can say that. I was like,
talk to him nice. Talk to him nice.
Speak with some respect. Anyways, today we have a whole ass full schedule of so many things to discuss for you
so
guys. It's gonna be a bit more organized than last week, but also we got so much feedback, so much good feedback from last week. The best is Cleo live messaging me every time she's listening to the episode. That's always fun.
By the way, Cleo, we really do love you. Like we love your energy.
Tej always has the best race recap, episode recaps on her Twitter page.
Facts.
Y'all should check it out at Everfocus. 2 S's. She always be killing it. But yeah, packed schedule for you guys today. So right, I almost called you Lewis there.
Listen, the resemblance is strong in many ways.
What resemblance? Not you, Kenyan child. What resemblance?
Okay. All right.
Okay. First, what are we discussing first?
I don't want to talk about what is on there first because he's a bum. Let's do how the drivers are all extremely horny in Australia, and then we'll go back to the previous point.
Oh my God. They are so bloody horny. Like, what's going on? They all want to sleep with each other. Everybody acting fruity, and I like it. Yes. No, so I said this on Spaces. Yeah, my theory is that they all had baddies in Australia that they haven't seen in 2 years. So that like maybe and then now that it's not a love struck thing. It's now, like now that they've reunited with their baddie, they're like, oh, everything's just feeling there's lust in the air. There's lust in the air. It's all just very spicy much. Like everybody was doing it up firstly with like the fact that Lewis knows that Max has a nipple piercing is just very uncomfortable. And I was trying to pretend like I did not see that news. It was very much. I don't want.
I thought you said you forgot. I thought you said you didn't even see it.
I saw it. I saw it so many times, and I was trying so hard not to think about it. It's very much uncomfortable. Yuki, your guy, Gasly.
Yeah. And Yuki. Wow. Gasly was out of pocket. Gasly was out of pocket.
I forgot about that one. I don't even know. Can we even say that quote on the podcast?
Let's leave that one out. No, because I don't know how to do beeps.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, DM me. You don't have to do beeps. I just tag the episodes explicit because I'm always swearing.
Yeah, but fair. But still, continue.
It's only when this is another reason I don't want to move to YouTube, Roy, because we're gonna have to find a way to do beeps or I can't swear.
I mean, I can figure it out. I just haven't yet.
Anyways, Gasly was definitely he was definitely
out of pocket.
Like also like just to like switch the conversations a little, the reason all the drivers were talking about like piercings and body parts is because the F1 the race director has decided to clamp down on the rules about jewelry and stuff. And I get body jewelry, but Lewis was making some out-of-pocket comments about how I have piercings I can't remove. I was like, what are you talking about? Can I see it? Let me check. Can I tap you down? Let me make sure.
Yeah. The group chat was wild on that one. Oh, Jesus.
I can't volunteer. I volunteer as tributes to tap down Louis and make sure everything's looking spick and span. Anyways, who else? Like, obviously, also, by the way, I don't know if you saw this before because you've been a bit AWOL this week, but they have to wear fireproof underwear now. And they've given them like 2 to 3 races to like secure fireproof underwear. And I'm like, how exactly are they going to make sure that the driver, like who is the person doing that? A good sis wants to know because
she wants a job. She wants a job.
I want a full-time
underwear
job
inspector.
You see, this is why we cannot have a YouTube channel because see already what I'm doing. I cannot allow people to see the side of me.
Yeah. You guys miss so much when you can't see. There's so much going on in video, and it's
don't worry. The poll was like extremely in favor of us because we did a poll, and everybody wants us to start a YouTube channel. So I guess I have no choice. In the story, but no, all the drivers were wild, and even like Perez and Max were talking about how they seen each other naked.
Yeah, they were all very
Ricardo and Norris.
Yeah, they were all
very disgusting. Some of the drivers, the ugly ones. Anyways. What do you think about Lando Norris's comments, Roy?
Okay, look, again, I am once again reminding you guys that if you like Lewis and like Lando, the math's not mathing. I don't understand. The man doesn't like Lewis. It's been obvious and it's been clear for like a long time.
Okay, so like today they did this thing on the like Twitter this week that was like, who's your favorite driver and what's their red flag? Yeah. And Lewis's red flag is cavorting with Lando Norris. That man's whole personality is milk. Lewis, why are you like? If I had like a direct line to Lewis, the thing I would tell him would be like, leave those McLaren drivers, throw them away, stop associating with these
and by the way, we didn't mention the quote. So Lando basically said that he's glad Lewis is struggling, so now we can actually see how well he can do in the midfield. As if Lewis hasn't had time. Just because when he was struggling, you were like still swimming, fighting, trying to get born doesn't mean that like Lewis hasn't been there. He's put in the time, he's put in the hours. We don't need to do all this. So like, anyway, Lando is Lando. I don't understand how people can even for a second try and mention that Lando is a fan of Lewis. He's not. He's always hated on him. If you still think that, like,
The thing is, I think he was a fan of Lewis before he came. That's the problem with all these mini-ass young drivers, is that they'll be a fan of Lewis, and when they come, they feel so fucking intimidated, or maybe they think they're the ones that can knock him down a peg, or whatever, like, white supremacist beliefs it is that they have. And then suddenly they're like, yeah, if you get me, I'm equal to I can beat Lewis.
I'm an athlete meme, but no, as like, I've known many competitive people, and the moment they even get close to any sort of like competitive thing, like I'm sure Lando has had some sort of feelings towards Lewis for a good long while. He was like, nah, like he can't really be winning all these, right? Like, no, I don't trust Lando. I don't like him. I don't rate him. He's like whatever. I just don't like him. I've never liked him.
Okay, moving on, I guess. Lando Norris, like, let's just say, as I've said before on this very podcast, he is the most annoying F1 driver on the grid. Like, I tell no lies. He is so bloody annoying. And Roy, personally, doesn't like Lando. And I feel like that's a sign that you suck. Because Roy likes everybody.
Sadly.
You do, though. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't know. I like to look at people.
Moving on. I think we're going to start with the race review now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want to discuss that when we get to the teams.
Okay, I got you.
That's why I skipped that.
After you told me to put it out of that.
I didn't tell you that. I just said next to the team name. Put that so that I have an inkling. I want to remember. I want you to remind me. Don't give me a little poke. Remember when people used to poke each other on Facebook, and that was like flirting?
I had no. Poke. I mean, sometimes me and my friends, when we poke, it was more like a aggression. I'm not going to stop. No, not aggression. It was more like a you're going to be aggressive. Oh my gosh! It was more like you're going to be the one to not poke back. So like it was just a back and forth poking until the other person forgot. Like it was like I get to poke you. You don't get to poke me. So you just kept poking back. Like one guy.
God, you're so old. You're so old because that is not what I remember poking being all about. So, because for me, like poking was more of like a flirty thing. Like I want to get your attention without actually being the first to say hey. And I remember that this guy I had a crush on. I think his name was like Muhammad Ibrahim. I don't know honestly. One of the names. And one time I had to do a whole last conference call with my girlies because they all knew how I was feeling about this man. And I was like, oh my God, he has poked me. What does this mean? What are the next steps to be taken? And like the way I know, like I am mature, but I'm really like at my old age of 24, I really just still be foolishing sometimes.
I forget how young you are. You're so smart.
It is like a similar thing sometimes. Like something will happen with a guy and instantly I want to like message my friend and be like, okay, so what do I do next? Because it doesn't happen frequently. So what do I do next? I don't know these, like, I only know the ashawo side of things. I only know the like how to reject men on that basis or accept. I don't know how to do it the other side. No, but it's crazy. Anyways, race review. Describe your race in one sentence.
Oh shoot, you always put me on the spot. In one sentence.
You forgot, didn't you? That's it.
Dead ass. Can you go? Do you have one?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Mine kind of comes on the fly.
All right. Race review in one sentence. Bye, Max.
Oh my God, you shouldn't have put bye, Max. It should have been like bye. You know that song by NSYNC?
That's girl.
The
fact that you know that song. That song.
Yeah, but I know a lot of 90s songs.
I feel but that song came out when I was coming up. Like
high school,
I was there.
maybe?
No, I'm not that old. It was probably no, it would have been probably like
high school, not high school, junior, freshman, maybe. Okay, for me, anyways, like that was a vibe. Like, if we talk about songs from that era, though, like Destiny's Child, now that was my shit. Till today, I know like all the lyrics to like Same Girl.
Yeah,
not Same Girl. Sorry, God forbid. Same Girl's the one with R. Kelly, who like by the way, R. Kelly ruined my childhood by like becoming like finding out he was a predator.
I would have been in fifth grade by then.
Destiny's Child, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the song. You know the one where Beyonce, where she thinks he's cheating and but it ain't no lie. Are you actually singing Bye 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 right now?
Yes, I am.
You're very unserious. Like, I'm actually now wanting to know what Destiny's Child song is.
To be honest with you, I was so focused.
Say My Name. That's why I said same girl. Say My Name. Oh, I know all the, like, as a kid, I was singing, Che baby, I love you, Che baby.
Not you saying.
And my mom never knew it was like Say My Name. And I was obsessed with R. Kelly songs as well, so that kind of broke my heart. Also, yeah, Usher, but really Usher and Destiny's Child, my childhood. Yeah. Anyways, my one sentence race review is somebody please stop Ferrari.
Oh my God, they're so good. I mean, Charles
Somebody
is good. Did you see how much porpoising they had and still how fast
exactly.
They were?
That's what I need, because they look like they're struggling, and then the lap times come up, and you're like,
boom. And our issue was porpoising. Like, how can we porpoise and not be fast? They're out here porpoising, and
although we weren't porpoising as much this weekend. I'm just
but that's what I'm saying. When we were actually porpoising, I feel like if we had gone back to the previous setups with all that porpoising, maybe we could have been up there, because like, how were they doing that? And still just putting time on everyone's heads. It was wild. Man, that car.
Okay, by the way, Lewis has named this year's car the Viper.
Yes, he gave it two. He called it like two different snakes.
Yeah, okay, this is a madness. Anyways, I remember the era of the Diva, and I thought that was a bad car. And now it's like this. I regret all the shit I said about like
the W12?
2017 and 2018. No, not W12. Yeah. I don't regret jack shit I said about W12. I'm still very annoyed about that car. No, 2017 and 2018. I don't remember the numbers.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can count back. It's not that serious.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. Anyways, so that's mine. Somebody stop Ferrari because it's not looking healthy. Anyways, let's start with the team.
Perez, it would have been nice if Perez could have won to just bring Charles back a little bit. But
or Lewis.
Yeah, I mean,
Perez was never gonna do it. That man was like how far back? And also, like, we're gonna get to this, but like that Red Bull was the faster car. Their car struggled in the tire, but outright pace, they had the faster car, which is why I'm telling you, Max Bottle qualified. But go ahead, we'll get there.
But then he even bottled race pace because he could not even keep up with Charles. No, we'll come back to it when we actually talk about the teams. I don't want to like get it too deep into it right now.
Okay, so we're starting from the bottom, which is Haas F1 team. You go.
Oh my God, they were at the bottom. From what I remember,
are we doing this year's championship order or last?
No, I thought we always do the previous race. So however they finish in the last race, we go from there.
Oh, I thought we were doing championship order. Okay,
we can do championship order. No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I was doing last year's though. Let's bring up this year's. I don't know who's at the bottom. I think it's Aston Martin. I know who's at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's Aston Martin because they're the only team this year to score points. Okay, go for it, Bert.
Okay, Aston Martin. Why did they even show up this weekend? What were they doing?
Yo, it was bad.
What were they doing? I mean, Latifi crashed first.
That's not Aston Martin. That's Williams.
No, I know. It was Stroll's fault, but like Latifi still had the biggest crash. But like, I don't know what Stroll was doing there. And then even the team, no, it was definitely Stroll's fault. I saw the replay. But and then they couldn't get Vettel's car ready in time. He kept having his issues, and then once he was in the race, I mean, of course he didn't get enough laps, and we saw from all the drivers how hard it was. I forget, was it turn 9? I can't remember what turn it was. They kept running wide almost into the gravel each time, so like it has to be a tricky corner because from Lewis to Alonso to everyone else, they just kept doing it. So like I'll give Vettel a little bit of grace that like it was just a hard track. I mean, I know he won't, so it's fine. But I will give him grace just because I understand that it was a difficult track and he didn't get as much time on it as some of the other drivers. But still, like,
why didn't he get as much time on it?
It's Aston Martin's time. It's Aston Martin's fault. Like I'm saying, why were they here? What did they do?
No. Okay. I'm gonna disagree with you on that because free practice 1, yes, it was Aston Martin's fault because I think Vettel only did the 18 laps and then the engine.
Yeah.
So technically it was Mercedes' fault. The engine gave away. So obviously he then couldn't do practice 2. No, he then couldn't participate in free practice 2 because they were fixing the car.
Yep.
But in free practice 3, both Vettel and Stroll did whatever nonsense they did on their own. So coming into qualifying already, like Vettel only had like 23 laps.
Yeah,
that's what he had coming into qualifying.
And I mean, they did a good job to get his car on the track.
They did a good job to like get and he qualified ahead of Latifi. But obviously, as we're saying, Stroll did, I don't know. Stroll needs his mumu button comes like once every 2-3 races. He has to be stupid, I guess. And this was it this week.
Hopefully he has 2 decent races so we can forget about this. And then he can have another mistake.
Another stinker. So so in the race, I think Vettel ended up DNFing on his own, by the way.
Was it? Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yes, he went into the gravel, exactly, which is why I have no sympathies for this man. If this is what pushes him to retire, hallelujah to that. Maybe he will realize 1, the car is too slow, 2, he is too slow, 3, go and sleep, you're an old man.
Just open it up for a new person.
If this man retires, I'm popping bottles for the whole team.
Oh, I know
the whole crew.
I know you.
The whole crew. I will order you shit and send it to your. As I already know your whole government's address. I know your social security number.
She does not.
But did you see me with my address? I've forgotten, to be honest. I don't keep this kind of thing. Anyways, what team is next? Williams. I have thoughts. So you go first.
Impressive on Albon to keep those tires going until the very end of the race. I mean, to be honest with you, he did end up getting a point, so I guess it was fine to pit, but it would have still been kind of fun for him to finish at what was he running, 6th or 7th, and then just take a 30-second penalty and get no points, because ultimately points are points, so let me not do that. But I was impressed
exactly, especially for the way the team's struggling.
I was impressed with him being able to keep those tires running all the way to the end. I still feel like maybe they should have pit under that safety car. They might have maybe been able to do more, but he was putting in good lap time. So strategy went well. Obviously, Latifi, I'm not going to talk about him. I'm not going to waste my time. So if you want to talk about Latifi, you want to stand with him, you can.
He didn't do it. It wasn't his fault. Y'all need to see Roy's facial expression. I've never seen you make a blacker facial expression in your life. You've just affirmed your blackness. Okay, so Latifi in qualifying obviously wasn't his fault, but also maybe don't go for the space. You weren't on a fast. That's what I don't understand. You're not on a fast lap, you're on a slow lap. So even though it's Stroll's fault, you still need to accept the consequences, because
to give more room.
Why are you crashing on a slow lap? No, he didn't have the room. But if you why are you crashing on a slow lap? That is totally unnecessary.
Every weekend he's been in something. Yes, he could be very unlucky, or he's also just.
But this one wasn't his fault. This one wasn't his fault.
Fine, he's unlucky, but again,
I can't believe I'm out here defending him.
I refuse to put any energy in this man. So I'll let you slander him or praise him. I won't even fight you.
I have nothing to say. Honestly, I forgot. I didn't realize he made it to the race start. Until the end of the race.
Did he make it to the race?
Because I messed. Yeah, he did.
Wow,
and I saw Letu slandering on her Insta story. Letu was like, Latifi's finished more races than Max this season. But I didn't realize he actually made it to the race, because apparently when he's not crashing, nobody actually sees him. So I didn't realize he ended up finishing ahead of Alonso. He did.
But Alonso ruined his race, and I understand why Alonso ruined his race.
I think I'm gonna say he got unlucky, but we'll get to that when we get to Alpine. I think the qualifying standings are now 2-1, because Albon obviously got disqualified, talking about Williams, because they didn't put enough fuel in the car, so they couldn't get the 1 liter sample, whatever.
Yeah.
Similar to what happened.
I'm not a religious person
in Hungary.
I think it's
you're mean.
Karma,
don't say that. So they couldn't get that. So Albon fans were kind of crying on the timeline that technically it's still 3-0, because this is not the purpose of that. I don't know. They're stupid. Anyways, about Albon's race. Lord.
Sorry. I'll be able to get some of these.
I'm struggling. No,
I'll get some of these. I'll be able to get some of these. It's
icking me to say something nice. No, it's icking me to say something nice about Albon.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
You're out here acting. Jesus Christ.
There's a bitterness in my throat right
Cleo, here, record this moment. Save it. Because she's struggling. If you guys could see this woman's face, her acting is too good. I thought she was really struggling.
Alex Albon drove a good race.
Wow. she's off screen now. She's off camera. She needs water.
Williams gave him a strategy and he accomplished it. And he got a very good, might turn out to be crucial point in their battle with Aston Martin for last place, which I never thought was a sentence I would say. Oh my God, Aston Martin are useless. But yeah, he did what he needed to do. For me, I think the most impressive part was not the whole, it was the like lap times he was able to put in until the end, because it's well and good to like take tires to the end, but usually your tires will drop.
Yeah,
which is also why I think
good lap time. That's why I was impressed.
F1 made the wrong tire choices. FIA, Pirelli, they made the wrong tire choices because the hard tire was way too durable.
Yeah,
because obviously they did C5 for the softest, but then instead of C4, they did a C3 and C2. So I think the hards were a bit too durable, but still nobody else managed it. He did the same strategy as a bunch of people on the grid, and like with Alonso and K-Mag, he did it best.
Yeah.
And he was able to drive a good solid race and showed that there's decent race pace in the Williams.
Yeah. In the hands of a capable driver. This
truly capable is a stretch. This car looks like a bit of an anomaly. This track, seemed like a bit of an anomaly. So there's that as well. So we can't really hold too much because the pecking order of the grid was kind of all switched up.
But also, I mean, before I passed out, I was watching some of the post-race review, and Lando and Albon were talking with the tall woman who interviews for F1.
Rosanna Tennant.
Yes, thank you. She was like, okay, so is the car better? And Lando just almost immediately cut her off, like, no. And she's like, what? And
yeah.
He's like, no, nothing's changed. He's like, we've literally brought nothing to the car. It's just the track.
They brought only the winglets. I think the track is just very much an anomalous track compared to the first two tracks. I think Spain is when we'll get a realistic of what the season pecking order is going to be before upgrades and stuff, and then who's going to outdevelop who, but kind of see where everybody is. But also I will say about Alex, it's not just that like he drove and he kept that position. There were like 2-3 safety cars and the field bunched back up, but still he managed to pit and come out in 10th. Yeah. So good race from
he had good pace on those old ass tires, like genuinely he had really good pace.
Good race from. Let's move on, please. My truth is getting me now.
Let's go.
I think the next team is actually AlphaTauri, who are having an absolutely awful season. Yeah. Like they have the 10 points still, so they didn't score any points today.
They got unlucky with the safety car though.
They did? Okay, you can tell us. I wasn't paying attention to them.
I think they pit the laps right before the safety car. So immediately after they both finally pitted, safety car went out. And so they just immediately sunk to the bottom while everyone just went into the pits for free time.
So this is the second safety car? The second safety car?
Was it? I can't remember. Yes, because it was a full safety car. It was the one where there was a full safety car immediately.
When we spoke about Aston Martin, did we talk about Stroll? Because he actually had a decent strategy as well and ended up 12th place because he, in the first initial safety car, that was like a second lap in, he pitted, switched to mediums.
Yeah, that was smart.
Then pitted and switched back to hards.
Yeah, big brain from the team.
Pitted a word. Yeah, too bad they can only do it then. Anyways, so yeah, he ended up 12th, which was pretty decent actually.
Yeah.
And if other things had gone his way, he might have been able to get a bit further up. So that was actually decent from Stroll, like recovery, I guess. But like I say, recovery drives are nothing good to smile at because it means you fucked up the day before anyways. So yeah, going back to AlphaTauri, I didn't actually know it. I noticed when Gasly, his tires were going off and he kind of went off into the thingy majig. What's it called?
The grass, right before the final turn, like before.
Yeah, he went into the grass. Yeah. Obviously, they have like 12 points now, I think, and Gasly has 6 of those. I don't know. They're really much underwhelming compared to.
Yuki has been driving better this year than last year though.
Objectively, still ended up like 14th or something like that. But yeah, he has been he's not making stupid mistakes.
Yes,
I think their car is just
horrible.
Absolutely
compared
poor,
to last year.
Exactly. They're very much underwhelming. They feel very much like Toro Rosso again.
Gosh, honestly. That's a name I never wanted to hear. I always thought it sounded stupid.
Toro Rosso?
Yeah, like There's no imagination. They literally just said
Red Bull. It means Red Bull. Language.
I know. Yeah. It's lame. I don't care.
Scuderia Toro Rosso. Anyways, I don't know. Is there much to say about Aftari? Anything you can think of this weekend?
No, I mean,
I think their qualifying was 11th, 13th. Like, they're not too far past, guys.
He was really struggling to get past, who was it? Was it Stroll?
Albon?
Was it? Yeah, it was Albon. Was it? Because I remember.
Was Albon? Oh, no, Bottas. I think he was having drama with Bottas.
No, yeah, but like later, Alonso.
I must have missed this. Go ahead.
Alonso was on the comms saying, why isn't Gasly just passing him? And I think he was trying to either pass Albon or somebody else who was on much, much, much older tires. And I think at the time, I thought Alonso was really like, yo, like he was kind of like crapping on Gasly, saying like he's not skilled. But I think it's because Alonso realized that he'd put too much stress onto his tires, right? He'd fully drained them. And he'd done that hoping that they would quickly get around these people so then he could then conserve his tires. And so I don't know how to read kind of what Alonso was saying, if Gasly really was underperforming or Alonso was just frustrated that he effed up, as we saw he ended up at the bottom.
Yeah, okay, I didn't really pay attention so much, so
no, it's fine.
you can give us the delve down on that. Haas?
Mick raced better than I expected. I mean, Magnussen was his.
He finished ahead of K-Mag.
Yeah, but Magnussen, like that's the thing about Magnussen. He's very like aggressive, and he like always goes for it. Like those type of people are prone to like making bad mistakes sometimes. And Mick, I think, just was more successful this weekend because he was a lot more measured in his driving, and K-Mag kept making almost lunges and almost moves that just kept putting him in really bad positions. And Mick just kind of wore that war of attrition.
I think obviously Haas, the whole question of Haas this weekend is where did their pace go? But it's also the thing is like, exactly, because obviously McLaren went up, Haas went down. So I think it's not for like, if you're a Haas fan or a Mick fan, maybe don't panic too much. And I would just like to say kudos.
That's impressive because she loves to poo-poo on Mick as well.
Kudos to Mick because I predicted him crashing at the new turn 5. I'm not gonna lie, I predicted it, and I will hang my hats, I don't know what the English phrase is, and say that he didn't. So good job.
Impressive, actually.
Mick, child of nepotism Schumacher. Doesn't change all my thoughts about him though. But I don't know. I feel like we didn't see much from all these people today. Like I'm struggling to remember. This is why I prefer when we record right after. My memory is a bit fresh. I should have rewatched.
Yeah, I would have been ready to record last night, but I figured we were both tired.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't. I thought you would, because when I called you to wake you up for the race, you seemed so sleepy.
This morning? Yeah. I just woke up.
Yeah. So like.
Of course I'm No.
I assumed if you wanted to record, then you would have mentioned. Also, I love the vibe of the recording in your Airbnb way better than your studio at home.
Okay, that's rude because my studio actually worked on it. So I'm gonna fight you next time I see you.
No, like there's just a vibe of like it feels very homey because your studio is just like a green backdrop and it feels like a studio, but this feels very much like you're in your room where it feels very chill. It feels like our FaceTime calls.
Fair. That's because I'm usually in my living room.
Oh, I love the color of that coat at the back in your closet.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I love it. It's actually cool.
Very nice color.
Thank you.
Very nice color. Anyways, moving on. Alpine. No, it's Alfa Romeo. Oh, I got so excited.
You did get excited.
It's like you just answered. I literally physically rubbed my hands together.
Yes. Man, she gets so excited. Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did 8th and 11th. I did not remember seeing Guan Yu Zhou in this race a single time. So was I just distracted or did they just not show him?
No, they showed him a few times. He did actually have some good moves. He just was never the focus. It was always like he was always just behind and he would be in moves. He just like he was just more
overtaken.
Yeah, no. It wasn't he was being overtaken. He would do overtakes. They were just more low key. He kind of was settled in his spot, and then he'd do some overtakes. But like he was always in the back of the fight, right? So like if there like a train of 4 or 5 cars, even if he did pass a car, the real battle was the front 3 cars. So like he just didn't get a lot of airtime. But he was driving well. I was peeping him.
I think Alfa Romeo obviously like their pace kind of disappeared on the like they had good pace all through practice, and then in qualifying their pace kind of just was like nowhere, and like it was Bottas 12th, Joe 14th, which was pretty good, like although Joe was like 6/10 behind Valtteri. So
no, but that's the thing, like Joe, like Joe is I'm very impressed with him.
He's doing good. Obviously Valtteri got points, and Valtteri got some good overtakes in. I did witness a couple good overtakes. Alfa Romeo have 13 points on, which I'm pretty sure is more than their like last 2 seasons combined.
Yeah, and Joe, like again, we rate Bottas highly because he's not a bad driver. Not as I'm not saying of
who's
the top.
We? Okay, that me.
Yeah.
I was making a joke.
But Bottas, you would say, is a good driver. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's the best. But would you say he's a good? No, genuine question. Would you say Bottas is a good driver? Good. I'm not saying great.
Yes,
I don't know how else to say it.
A good driver.
Okay.
You say Bottas.
Bottas.
What?
Is Bottas better?
It's your Kenyan accent, don't worry.
Right.
Bottas.
So like
Bottas. Yes, I will say Bottas is a good driver.
Yeah. So like if Joe is there and he's obviously not beating him, but like he's close enough, like within 2 to 3 grid places, like in my mind, like, hey, you're doing your thing. People thought you were going to be a hard, like, pay driver Latifi, and not at all. He's doing the damn thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm impressed with him. I'm like, he's certainly doing a better first year than Yuki Tsunoda did. So there's that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything.
I know you're not. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with the air. Yeah, Alfa Romeo built a solid car.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo seems solidly like 6th best car, maybe. No matter what's happening, they're still 6th best. Yep. The people above them move, the people below them move. Yeah. They're still 6th best. 5th best, maybe sometimes.
It all depends. I feel like it all depends on how.
It depends on Alpine,
but also how well Valtteri can drive that day. Because we all understand sometimes Valtteri just has off days. So if Valtteri is driving,
you really loves him.
No,
it all depends.
No, look, I love him, but like I'm not one of those people who can't criticize my own. I love Valtteri, but I also know that like he can be wildly inconsistent. And if Valtteri is driving great, Alfa Romeo is gonna be like anywhere from like P5 to P7, P8. But if he's not, he might be struggling to get a P10, which again, he's not in a Mercedes, and we didn't think he was going to be in the points regularly this year.
Like even from Q1 to Q2, like they kind of lost a lot of time because Valtteri's Q1 time was 0.2 faster than his Q2 time. Yeah. And his Q1 time would have gotten him like 11th.
Yeah. So. Okay. But yeah, I remember I seen it.
But it's fine. It's just one place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just one place. Okay, so.
Moving on.
Alpine.
Again. As long as
do you want to go first? Do you want to go first? Because I have this layered thoughts.
No, this is for you. Go. This is for you. Talk about your SD bestie.
Ladies and gentlemen of the pod, it was a good day. It was a good weekend. And let me tell you, I'm in a group chat with some people, and I had just written to them how Alonso's car was gonna give up 50 minutes to the checkered flag during quali. Obviously, it didn't. It was a bit before that, but I feel like I was close enough. And when I saw the smoke, and out of the smoke, I saw the number 14. Lord.
Seriously,
jubilation.
Reina can manifest things, guys. Like
the jubilation, the tears, everything was working.
You don't want her as an enemy.
Everything was just on point. Fernando Alonso's hydraulics just said, kaput! And like, this like, oh, that was going to be one of the best laps of the season. I'm like, okay, maybe combine this lap and Max's lap from Saudi. Maybe you have the best lap of all time. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't understand what is the obsession with quarter laps and half laps. Like, If the lap is not a lap, it's not a lap. If you have not passed that black and white flag that's checkering and like waving, it's not a lap now, is it? Yeah. Is it, mate? It's not a lap. It's not a lap. To compound on that, by the way, like I'll talk about SD and how like he was having a shitty weekend. Like his qualifying pace was nowhere near the car.
Not at close.
But so Alonso DNF'd and
call him Mr. Consistent because he out here.
Mr. Fernando Alonso, friend of the pod.
Friend of show.
Yeah. So he was P10. Some miracle happened, and they managed to fix his car. And he started on hards. I don't know why. It was starting P10. It wasn't like he started on P18 or whatever. He started on to go counter strategy. And he was going well. And then they were talking about how I think he kind of lost a couple positions at the beginning, and then he was kind of gaining it back. And then I heard Martin Brundle, he was almost crying. He was so disappointed and heartbroken. He was like, Alonso's not gaining as much positions as I thought he would. I was like, he's on a bloody hard tire. What do you think's gonna happen? Like, who do you think he is? Lewis Hamilton? Like, put some respect, please. Anyways, but he was doing all right on the hard tire. And I was looking and I was just thinking, I was like, so if Ricardo is not gonna like something, like, no, Alonso can't have this. And then he pits to switch to medium, like 10 laps, maybe 8 laps to the end to kind of have, and at this point, obviously everybody else is on like 30 lap old hards.
Yeah.
He's switching to medium, the faster tire, to begin his overtaking masterclass. Where was it?
This is the part I was talking about earlier. Yep.
Where was it? We did not see it too. We did not see it. We waited. He was about how he's gonna this lap had the power to be on the front row. We were waiting. Wait, if we talk about how we all knew, by the way, that Alpine did not have race pace, these commentators are so fucking delusional, because even in like the practice sessions, you could see Alpine were losing a lot of time from low fuel to high fuel runs because that was the priority.
FP2, right?
Yeah, during FP2, yes. So even though I slept, but like I was able to like look at the times afterwards. And I'm just like, was it FP2 I slept? No, it was FP3 I missed. But no, so like the commentators were delusional and they were deluding everybody into thinking Alonso was gonna do some like miracle move. This Hamilton in Brazil, I don't understand what you guys think is happening here. Clearly, like nothing happened. Like he ended up graining the tires, locking up, and then having to pit again, and then going on the softs to try and steal the fastest lap from Leclerc, even though he wouldn't get it. And he still couldn't accomplish that. Nope. He still couldn't accomplish it. And so that man is 0. I need this car to suffer and retire and die until it pushes him into retirement.
What's the point of stealing that fastest lap for him?
Just pettiness.
Because it
maybe just he thought Lewis had it. Maybe he thought Lewis had it. Anyways, Alonso ended up finishing dead last, 17th of the 17 runners that crossed the finish line. And I'm just saying that obviously this was his third ICE out of third allocated. So fingers crossed. Penalty incoming soonest. Maybe Imola, maybe Spain, maybe Miami. One of those 3 upcoming races. Penalty coming soonest. For Fernando Alonso. But let us discuss. If maybe you guys have not realized, after Lewis, you should know who my guy is. Hesty Bestie did his thing. Hesty Bestie ended up finishing P7.
Yep, P7.
Secured his 6 points. And I would just like to point out that Hesty Bestie is 7th in the Constructors' Championship with 20 points. Meanwhile, friend of show, Spanish Maestro, some people's goats.
2-time world champion.
2-time world champion. El Plan Executor, dethroner of Michael Schumacher, is still having 2 points. 2 points. Hefty Bestie is using Fernando Alonso as the rag to clean his bedroom. He's using it as the mop to wipe all the French wine stains. Hefty Bestie is using him as a broom to sweep all the negative energy out of the room. Hesty Bestie is showing levels to some people's daddies. Some people's daddies that don't want to retire. Some people's daddies that think maybe they are substituting a wife for Formula One. They don't know not everybody at an advanced age can do what my own goat is doing.
Who's your goat again? Who's your goat?
Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton, son of Anthony. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Son of Anthony has it. Son of Anthony has his people. ST is one of the few people I trust on that grid to know what it is because they know sacrifice. They know blood, sweat, and tears. They know how they got here. ST Bestie said, don't worry, babe. I got you. And he's doing the job. In silence, he don't speak too much like certain people. He don't run his mouth. He's just there like assuredly, just consistency. He may not have certain people's raw pace, but he's not acting, he's not doing up tomfoolery either. He's not doing up tomfoolery. And Alonso had the audacity to insinuate that, oh, why is it only his car having reliability issues? You know, this is why I like Omar Safna. That's why I liked him when he was the first in the Aston Martin situation. He shut that down quick when they asked him. Those dirty people at Sky Sports were asking. He was like, is it the first person to something like, let's not have that discussion. Yeah. If you have an issue, friend of show, I would like to tell you if you have an issue with the car, I will happily show you the emergency exit on the way to retirement. I'm just saying, there are other things you could be doing. Maybe become a pastor in Spain, maybe open a club. I don't know what you Spanish people do, bread and wine. Just go and vibe there because us here on the ST Bestie train, we are not interested in your shenanigans. You know how before the season we were saying we would sacrifice ST Bestie for Fernando's misery. Turns out they could come together. ST thriving. Well, really good. They could come together.
It's really coming together. Imagine.
The Lord was really like.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
No, it's not even mystery. The Lord was really like, don't you know my capability? I will give you joy upon joy. Misery doesn't have to come alongside it. Joy have to joy. Oh joy after joy. Praise be. I serve a one true living God. Alhamdulillah. It's really the motto of Ramadan. Ain't no evil people. Ain't no evil people scoring points. It is really the month of Ramadan. And when I kneel to pray to the Lord, when I bow to pray to my Lord at night, He knows my prayers. My prayers are school, Lewis, the failure of Alonso and Max, and then husband. Husband is also their failure. My mother does not need to know this. But when I bow down at night, the Lord is truly answering my prayers. He knows. He knows. This is why my manifesting is working. It's working. And I am just enjoying the misery of these people. Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Oh, Lord. Anyways, I don't want to go for too long. I don't want to go for too long.
Alpine has been covered. Who is next?
McLaren Mercedes. Do you want to go for it? You need to see the disappointment on Roy's face. The disappointment on Roy's face. Lord. Roy, you're an enemy of progress. You're an enemy of progress to your people.
No, look, they did. I'll be nice. They did very, very well. Their car still clearly sucks, as words from Lando himself. But they managed to get, what was it? P6 and P7, right?
P5 and P6.
P5 and P6, because I know they were right behind the Mercedes. Somehow Daniel Ricciardo managed to be behind Lando the entire race. So, okay.
I know why. No, I know why. They told him to hold position. In his own home race, look at the way they're embarrassing him. They told him to hold position.
In his own race? At home?
In his own race, yes. They told him to hold position.
Wow. That's embarrassing. And he did too. Wow. And he's a team player, I guess.
There's tears in my eyes.
I can't imagine Lewis being told the whole position
at
Silverstone, and Lewis being like, okay.
Like imagine Max in Zandvoort, they'll be like, oh, he'll crash out the two of them together. He'll crash out the two of them together.
I just the only person now that I know, the only other person I can see doing that, and that's because he already did that, is Checo.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Embarrassed.
Anyway, McLaren, they had pace this weekend. Good job for them. Lando still sucks.
Yeah, but as we said,
Daniel Ricciardo. But like I said, I don't know. I don't want to talk about them too much. I mean, like I said, they
anomaly.
Yeah, they had a good race. Genuinely,
they drove well. Race. Obviously, no. Let's discuss, because Lando qualified ahead of Lewis.
Yeah, and was immediately like gobbled up.
But Lando Norris could be hit in the head with what is a good start, and he still wouldn't do it. This man does not know what a good start is. Like, I already predicted, like when we were on Spaces yesterday, I was already like, Lando's gonna have a bad start. There was no, because and like what I know in life is that some things are true. But when Lando Norris qualifies at the big, like upper half of the grid, he will always have what the Nigerians like to call initial gra. Where are you rushing to? Where are you rushing to? The race is how many, like 60, 50 something laps? Where are you rushing to? Breathe. It doesn't have to be a spectacular. The championship is not on the line, bro. You have nothing on the line, really. Like, just calm down and just take your time. Like, you don't have to be stupid. Could not be me and my driver, because we know what to do when starts come about.
Yeah, but like I said,
Ricciardo obviously got qualified.
Yeah. But they had good pace this weekend. They had good pace. Ricciardo's qualifying was bad, but his race pace
wasn't that bad, solid. To be honest. I think Norris's was just really good. He was just right behind Russell. He was like seventh. Okay. Yeah.
But ultimately, like they had, I don't like the two drivers, but I don't like people having to just go through it all the time, like truly terrible, because I understand people's mental state. So I'm glad they had a good race. Clearly they're going to go back to be, I feel bad for people. I already told you I love to love, so I feel bad for people.
Okay, anyways, I was quite sad by their state of events this week.
Unless it's Alonso or Max. Those are the only two people I have zero sympathy for. They can be in the mud.
Luckily, hopefully it's just a fluke and we get back to normally scheduled events with McLaren in the mud next week. And at least now we know it's not Mercedes engine that's the problem, which is like a good news, because whatever, I don't care about them. Next up, in third place in the constructors.
Oh my gosh, imagine. Who'd have thunk?
With the fastest car, by the way, in my humble opinion, I think over the 3 races.
Oh yeah,
they've had the fastest car.
I would say over the 3 races, yeah.
His Red Bull racing. Can I just say? You see, Roy is a Christian, I'm a Muslim, and together we are fueling it. Roy goes to church every Sunday. Even though his pastor be talking for like hours. Together, we are powering Mercedes to recovery.
Yes.
We are recovering whatever fraudulent nonsense Toto Wolff and his employees were doing last year. But all I'm saying is, anyways, I don't want to laugh at anybody's misery. I'm not that kind of person.
Oh my God.
Perez was in qualifying. Verstappen managed to bottle pole again. Again, by the way, can we just say, like, he hasn't gotten a pole this season, but arguably he's the fastest driver over 1 lap in history. Did you not see that poll that came out, like, was it last year, that said, like, over qualifying pace, Max was the fastest ever in history, and then Senna, and then Lewis.
They're just polling 16 and 17 and 18-year-old.
No, it's like journalists and stuff that did, like, and then, like, they voted, and then the aggregate.
Okay, there was no insult I was going to say that was appropriate, so I'm going to keep it to myself.
But yeah, anyways, Perez, I said Perez. I guess, Perez was P2 and P3.
That's funny.
The combined couple name.
That's actually funny.
Perez was P2 and P3. Actually, okay, so all through the weekend, Perez was really close to Verstappen, and in fact, most of the weekend ahead, and he got quite unlucky, I think, in Q3 not to be ahead of Verstappen. And Max fans were crying.
Max getting slower.
Max fans were crying that there must be something wrong with Max's car because that's the only reason Perez would be so close to them. Anyways, and in the race, okay, so Perez's race, what happened with his race? He got behind, Lewis overtook him. Obviously, the car was a monster, so they overtook Lewis again.
But and
then he was struggling with race pace, and just as Lewis was going to overtake him, there was a safety car.
Yeah.
And then the second time, just as Lewis was going to overtake him, he pitted. And then when Lewis pit, after the first round of pit stops, Lewis was ahead, but obviously those hard tires were really cold coming out, so Perez was able to.
Yeah, but that was going to happen.
Actually, no, it was Actually, it was the second time around that, like, just because when Lewis was going to overtake him, the safety car happened. Actually, I think if the safety car hadn't happened, then Lewis would have ended up finishing P2.
Yeah.
I think the safety car happened is the most opportune time.
Yeah, at the best, I mean, worst case scenario, if the safety car hadn't happened, Lewis is P3. But Lewis showed he had good race pace, and if he could have been around Checo, like, we would have been able to actually see him get to P2.
No, because you could see that, like, in the first stint at the end, he was catching up to Checo before Checo pit. So if Russell hadn't, like, come between them, in the first, in the safety car, we moved on to Mercedes clearly, I think Lewis would have been able to overtake Perez later on. But obviously, like, he was behind Russell for a while and then overheated, started on the engine, so he had to stay where he was. Anyways, we'll get to that.
Okay, we can get back to it.
So Perez, P2, 18 points.
I was kind of hoping Perez would DNF as well, and then we get a P2, we get a Ferrari.
What I was hoping for was Charles would DNF, actually.
I did have a moment where I thought that too. I was like, it would be nice if
I wanted both to DNF, but Charles was my more priority.
Imagine if we got a win and beautiful. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Sorry. When Lewis's win comes, y'all are not ready for me. This podcast episode is gonna be like an hour talking about Lewis. And obviously Perez's teammate. What happened to Perez's teammate, right?
I mean, he was racing. He finished, right? Didn't he? He was on the podium. Wasn't he on the podium?
Sorry. I
thought he was running in P2. I thought he was running in P. Oh, I thought so. Not P1, not P2.
No, not P2.
P3. He has to be P3. This is Max Verstappen. He always gets podiums, apparently.
No.
What? Then
it's P18. Not the gas. We're not
Listen,
good people.
A race
weekend
is never that bad if Max and Red Bull do bad. Like,
honestly,
it can be a bad weekend, but if Max and Red Bull do just as bad, if not worse, it's not that bad. It's just not. We understand our car is not in where we want, and we can't do anything about that. Lewis will do what Lewis will do with what he can, but as long as Max and Red Bull are in the mud, I can move on. So yeah, I'm glad. Anyway, you've been manifesting this one for a while, and I know you have more in you. So I think Wame was saying your powers were recharging. Remember? And I
told her they were ready for this weekend. I told her it was ready for this weekend. It was coming. But you know the power it takes to manifest Max Verstappen DNFing is a lot, because he has so much good juju with, like, those safety cars that are obsessed with him and helping him out consistently. So the power it takes for me, that's why it drains me so much when I manifest.
That's why I didn't want to record that time. I knew you were recharging. I needed you to recover. Get a good night's rest.
Yeah. So
we don't have to spend too much time.
Our human error champion is defending his title excellently. with a win and 2 DNFs to start the season. At this rate, how do you think he's going to convince people that his championship last year was not a fluke, was not a mistake, was not an error in judgment? Honestly, yeah. So the amount they keep talking about that championship shows you they know. They know. Because Max was talking about how like he had the most races, he had the most wins, he had the most laps led. I'm like, and they still took you to Abu Dhabi? You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. I saw this tweet was like, give me fire, give me freedom, give me Massey or I retire. And then it was like Max's face walking away from the car. Anyways, we don't know what's wrong with the car.
I hope it continues though. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, okay. Moving on, Mercedes, we already started covering, but yeah, Lewis basically got unlucky with the safety car. George got lucky with the safety car. P3 for George, P4 for Mercedes, for Lewis, and George fans and Lewis, well, not Lewis fans, George fans and some people are misbehaving on the timeline talking about where's Lewis fans are so stressed or something. I don't even know, but there's beef on the timeline already. And I'm like, I literally tweeted, I was like, the least of my problems right now is that George is ahead of us. First, let them fix that nonsense that is a car. What was I saying? Yeah. So anyways, there's a little bit of drama. And what I would say to anybody listening is like, just calm your titties. Like, I don't like George. I don't have to like George, but also I'm not too stressed that George is B3. Like, it's race 3. Like, I'm not too stressed. Like, whatever. I'd rather George do well than like Red Bull or Mercedes. So, and also Charles fans are misbehaving on the timeline, talking about how Sainz didn't wait for Charles to be on the podium and watch him. I'm like, is he his daddy? Is he his job? Like, I don't even like Sainz, but like, is his job? Like, what do you want him to do there for him? So about how when Charles didn't finish in Monaco and Sainz was in the podium, he stood there and clapped for him. I'm like, there was not a championship battle. That everything is different when your car can win the championship. Everything is different because like Sainz was already falling behind and then DNFing. It's all right to love your teammate when you guys aren't fighting for podiums. Once you start fighting for like, and the championship is a possibility, like
Charles' points are where? Like almost 100s, like
70 something.
Yeah, like it's not a game anymore. Like you're
exactly.
But even before that, so
and Sainz had good pace this weekend and ended up just bottling during qualifying yesterday. Okay. Yes, okay, moving to Ferrari. Anyways, okay, sorry. Good points for Mercedes, by the way. So 3-4. I'm really happy about that. I manifested positive things, and Varun knew he was in trouble if they didn't do well because he had told me they were gonna do well.
Oh, yeah. Apparently he was already getting slandered, so
yeah.
But he managed to come through.
But I think what was more impressive was the qualifying pace from Lewis, because actually, no, before we move on to Ferrari, Lewis had like an additional like 1.5 to 2 kg of like materials on his car, like sensors and stuff, just because they were trying to like, obviously Mercedes must have gotten so much good data from this race as well, because they ran the sensors like throughout the race. So like the data gathering aspect of like this beginning half of the season cannot be underestimated. But obviously we wouldn't be here if Toto Wolff and his boys had done the job, and I'm still very much pissed off, and I'm not forgiving them for making me celebrate getting out of Q1 yesterday. When I celebrated, I felt it, and I was like, God forbid, this is not my portion, this is not my destiny. I was like, why are you hiring the best driver in the world if this is the nonsense you're gonna give him? Anyways, Lewis drove well, George drove well, Leclerc and Sainz. So Sainz, obviously, as I said, bad weekend. Just he had the pace as well. He had the pace on Charles, similar to kind of Perez and Verstappen. They had the pace on the like lead drivers, and then just kind of bottled it in qualifying. Yeah, Charles like dominated the race, like absolutely dominated.
Yeah. Ooh, like I said, Charles. I mean, I'm still of the mind, I don't know which of the two cars is the faster one. I really don't know. What I do know, however, is that Max keeps whining about stuff. And when Max is whining, I cannot trust whether he's whining because it actually is bad or that he's underperforming. And Charles, on the other hand, has been on it. Like he's just been on it. and he does it. He has not choked when they had that second restart. Remember when he kind of fishtailed a little bit because he kind of he was
when he fell asleep.
Yeah, he still kind of regained his composure and then put time again onto Max's head. And as we saw yesterday, the Red Bull car has pace. So Charles,
no, I think the Red Bull is the overall more balanced car. Like they have no problems with their car. Everything like is going well, other than
Charles is just.
But their car is very much well balanced.
Really?
No, I think Ferrari maybe have a little bit more road pace in the car, but obviously they're struggling with porpoising as well. I think if they, similar to us, can get rid of their like issues, I think we're both going to be out of Red Bull. That is my bold prediction. I actually think this title fight is going to be Mercedes and Ferrari, not Red Bull.
That would be lovely. And this is the first hopeful thing Reina said. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was thinking about this the other day. Like all this time when most of us have been like, especially even during testing, when we're all like super hopeful, like, nah, Mercedes got something. Reina was one of the very few people who was like, yeah, no. If you even go back and listen to our very first episode, Reina was like, no, I feel like we're probably like in the top
third best.
Yep, she said that, and I remember, and she had been very, very even keeled. So like anybody, especially on the TL, who joins spaces and wants to get all mad and perturbed about whatever we're saying, just understand Reina is actually really, 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 really smart about this and knows way, way, way more than she lets on, and definitely more than me. And I promise you, when Reina starts getting a little bit positive about things, something's coming. Okay, so like I said, if Reina says it, it's probably true. I'm just gonna leave that now.
I'm dumb.
I'm just gonna be that.
I'm
super dumb. Say that now because she has not been like, let me not say positive. She has not been.
I've not been negative. I've just been.
Yeah, exactly. She has not been necessarily hopeful about the pace we're bringing to each race. She's been very, very realistic, and at every point, she's been generally correct in terms of where we are coming into the race, and even where we can do out of it, right? Because every race we've had, she's always been like, "No, I think we can be here," right? Like for example, she said we could get a podium at Bahrain, right? And again, this is her coming into that race saying, "No, we are definitely not the third best car." So like people need to like calm down because you're gonna be embarrassed.
I think Spain is when we come into our full potential because it's Imola is when I think they bring upgrades, maybe. And in between Imola and Spain is Miami. So I don't think they'll bring anything, but Imola and Spain is probably where they'll bring stuff. So maybe first round, like first half of the first round in Imola, and then Miami because it's flyaway, because they said they didn't bring upgrades to Australia because of logistics. Yep. So I assume the same's gonna carry. The same's gonna have to carry from Miami as well. The calendar is just a mess logistics wise on it. It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Don't doubt the power Reina. If she says it's going to happen, there's a good chance of it happening.
So I think Spain is when we're in the title fight. Like I think Imola, I think we're going to be very much, if the upgrade, depending on how I see the upgrades at Imola, I'll tell y'all. So but yeah,
it'll be
let's wait and see.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm excited for the season.
Let's do our stars. Our star of the day.
Okay. Star of the day is very different from star of the week. Guys, we will explain. Star of the day is obviously driver. Star of the day. So give driver and team. Like go
okay. Star of the day for me is Charles. I think he drove very well. I feel like even more so than the last two races, he's just shown how, I mean, whether they have the fastest car or not, like people need to get over that fact and understand that like he's not folding. Like at even when he messed up that restart that I mentioned a moment ago, like he went.
It's too early for me to make that prediction, but I understand.
No, at least for right now. I'm just saying for right now, right? Like because it's just the day. Even when even after he messed up, he went into that first turn without like ceding any ground to Max. He was like, if you want this, like you can get it, but like you're really gonna have to fight for it. And after he did that, he immediately got back onto where he got his grip back. I think he was saying he got immediately back onto the same pace. He didn't like, oh my gosh, I messed up and Max may still be here. So like he's just shown really good composure, at least in these first three races. So I've been impressed with Charles. I mean, I always knew he was good. I just didn't think he was this good. So
okay, who's your star of the day team?
Star of the day team? Oh, that's got to be Mercedes.
Okay.
Easy.
Bum of the day?
Bum of the day. Boy, get that Alonso bum it. Hey, he's the bum. He's the bum. He's the bum.
The fact that you're not calling Perez as a bum, like, let's be grateful. Like, now every time I think of Perez, I want to call him a bum. And I want to go like, Ray would say, Perez a bum. Okay,
but no, Alonso the bum. How you going to bring your tires and end at the back? Come on now, bum.
My star of the day is Red Bull powertrains. They give me life. They give me sunshine. They give me freedom. They give me fire. They give me happiness.
Wow. Slenderous.
Give me freedom. Give me fire. Give me Red Bull powertrains and I'll be happy. My star of the day team is also Mercedes. Also, if I was a less petty person, my star of the day would actually be Alex Albon, but it's Red Bull powertrain. I think Albon actually did it right. Oh, fucking hell.
He did do good though. Like,
yeah, but anyways,
it's okay. Give it to him. Give it to him. Just give it to him. Just give it to him.
Okay. Star of the day, Alex Albon.
Cleo, I got you.
Cleo's she's gonna hold this over me for like the next 2 weeks before the next race. My team of the day, Mercedes, obviously. Maybe McLaren, I guess you could say, if we don't want to have the same one, because they're the only two teams who had like double points finishes.
Wow, that's impressive of her because she does not like McLaren. So she's feeling mad generous today. Albon
my
and
bum
McLaren?
of the day. Wow. My bum of the day is Alonso, but since we don't want to have the same one, I'm gonna go Latifi, because why is your teammate in 10th and you're in 16th? I know their strategies were not the same, but I'm gonna still be petty like that.
Embarrassing.
It could also be Magnussen. Like it could be a lot of people.
It could be. This weekend there's several people.
Actually, no. My bum of the day is Vettel.
This woman hates this man.
Okay. Who are we adding to Fraud Watch? Vettel, automatic entry. Oh, I can bring up last week's Fraud Watch. I mean, I tweeted it this time.
I want to be nice about Vettel, but
okay.
I don't mind.
I'm adding him, so it doesn't matter.
No. It's fine. Yeah. No, it's fine. You can put him there. I want to be nice, but he can go there.
Also, we're like one follower away from 400 on Twitter.
So follow us,
please. Which is madness.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, so we have currently Latifi, Schumacher, Ricciardo, Stroll are the people in our fraud watch. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna nominate to remove Ricciardo. No, he didn't do enough. Sorry. No, he didn't do enough. Oh, yeah. Because you have to do enough to be removed.
That's true.
And he did not do enough.
How about Mick? What do you think about Mick? Mick did good. He beat his teammate, and he was racing well.
If we're removing Mick, we're gonna have to remove Danny Road.
Okay, then never mind.
Not removing Danny Road. No, we can remove Mick. We can remove Mick. Okay. Because it was always me who put him there. You didn't have him in there. So
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes, we can remove Mick. Okay. Yeah. Can you maybe note this somewhere so we don't forget? Because last week I texted you to ask you. And okay, I got a pen and paper. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
cool.
So it's Latifi is still there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Stroll is also still there.
Firmly.
Ricciardo is still there. So new additions are Vettel only, yeah? Just Vettel?
Yeah, Vettel's there.
That's it, yeah? That's all.
Yeah. I thought that'd be more surprisingly.
Yeah, so we removed one and we added one. Like, if I was petty, I would add Verstappen, but we don't add people to Fraud Watch for DNFs, for mechanical DNFs. Okay, so official Black AF1 Fraud Watch list: Latifi, Stroll, Ricciardo, and Vettel.
That's not bad.
I feel like there should be someone else, but I can't think of who, so I'm gonna leave it. Oh, Alonso.
Yeah, after this weekend, put him on there, 100%. He deserves Alonso. That. He deserves that.
Okay. Our star of the weeks from our personal lives is what we're gonna discuss now. Right.
Yes, hold
on.
I
told you this at the beginning of the podcast. You better.
Okay, but like, why are you acting like I wasn't gonna choke when it came time to it?
Who's your star of the week?
Actually, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm my star of the week this week. Okay,
nigga, please.
Nope.
Who is your serious star of the week?
I am my star because I planned a whole trip in like 2 to 3 days. I didn't even know I was going to do it. And then I planned it. It happened. It's been a good time. But yeah, no, I literally just planned a whole trip in 2 days. I think I was up until like 5 a.m. one day. Like itemizing everything. I figured out how to get to Niagara Falls for like $10 instead of like 45 or 50. Shoot, what else did I do? Yeah, no, so, and it's been fun. I've been enjoying it myself. I've needed a break from life for a little while here. So I'm my own.
Okay. I don't have a star of the week.
Oh my gosh.
I can't think of a single.
Do you understand, y'all? She gets on my case. my
I can't think of a single person.
Before
okay,
the show,
no, I have one.
And now she wants to act like she can't have one.
I have one. There was no reason. I didn't believe it. This week was not too bad for me. It was annoying, frustrating at times, but like it wasn't too awful. So my star of the week is just someone who just put a little sparkle in it, a little starlight. My bum of the week is Brits, because Brits was always ready to gossip with me in the DMs all through this week.
Oh, so that's cute.
At Brits8044 is my star of the week this week, because we did a lot of gossiping in the DMs.
Even though she stays simping and you be getting upset with her.
I don't get upset with Brit for simping. I get upset with Brit for simping for ugly white men. Phil Foden is not somebody any decent, hot, beautiful Black woman like Brits should be simping for. Just no, Phil Foden does not deserve it. First thing, he plays for Man City. That's already a 0. But then he looks like Phil Foden. Google Phil Foden and see, Roy. You will understand why Brits should not be simping for Phil Foden. And I am hoping friendship with me will change her for the better. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
anyways, final thoughts.
Honestly, my final thoughts, this is probably another one of my favorite episodes, but mainly because I 100% did not expect that lovely oration he made about Alonso and Esti Besti. I was just as unprepared. I promise you guys, I was getting the full of it at that moment. And so no, that was great. I think the viewers, the listeners are gonna love it, because that was wonderful.
I don't have final.
Yo, this girl.
Okay.
Puts me
my
on
final thoughts are Roy and Varuna have bullied me into starting a YouTube channel.
Give it maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, guys. Give it some time. Maybe even a month.
It's gonna have to be facial, because I can't do Varun's thing. I need my face to be there for the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So give us some time.
Somebody on the timeline told me I'm too pretty to deny the masses with my face.
I mean, yeah, you gotta feed the people. You gotta give them what they want.
Because I'm so pretty.
Oh my God.
Roy I don't think Roy deserves to be enjoying my face alone. So let's step it up. So give it a couple.
You guys are gonna actually enjoy her facial expressions and all her like mannerisms.
I hate them.
But you do them so much. They are very extra, but they're very much what you would expect, to be honest with you. Like, they're extra, but they're just enough.
They're me.
Sense. Yes, exactly.
They're on brand. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again this week. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys, to rant to you guys, and I absolutely love every single one of you. Bye, darlings.